Okay, welcome back to Tequila Forever, Forever Tequila. We have right here the Solentos. We got the 1, 2, 3s. We got Código Tequila. Let's see what else we have. We had the Magenta, Cascanes, Gritona, Siete Leguas, Celaya. Who heard of that? Patron, a cheap ass shit. We got Tequila Ocho, Cascajuin, that's some bomb ass tequila. The Siembra Azul, Siembras del Valle. You got Fuente Seca, Primo, G4. And look at that, we got G4 Madera. That's the one that I'm going to be picking up today. I don't know what that is. Lalo, Wild Common, Tequila Tapatio, El Tesoro, another good tequila, El Tequileño. You got Volans, you got the Selección, you got in the bottom, you got, the Casa Noble, Don Julio, Adictivo, Cava de Oro. There's a lot of tequilas here to choose from. There's a lot of good stuff and a lot of stuff that's like, eh. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Tequila Forever, Forever Tequila. Today I got another bomb ass tequila that I'm going to be doing a review on. From El Pandillo, now number 1579, I got G4 Madera. I got batch number 1, batch number 2. You know what that means? It's time to do a review. So check it out. Before I get down to this, let's talk about, this limited release. The first release was last year, 2022. And in batch number 2, which is this one right here, was released this year. The only difference between the regular G4 Blanco and this one is that the G4 is, 50% spring water and then 50% rainwater. And then the G4 is the only expression on the G4s that they use deep well water. Now, I believe lot 1, it had some fibers, there was traces of fibers. And then lot number 2, from what I read, they don't use any fibers. They, removed all of that. So let's go ahead and get down on this. Now this tequila is really, really difficult, to find. So if you find it, jump on it quick. It's a good tequila. I like it. And if you like G4, I think you'll definitely like this one. Another thing is too, this is 90 proof, so it's 45%. That's another thing too that's a little bit different. Oh, and it's fermentated, of course. That's the big difference, right? It's fermentated in, open wood vats. So it's just because it's fermentated in wood, that's why it's the G4 Madera. That's another thing that they do different with this tequila. So the first one, you can see on the side right here, there was 10,000 bottles. And then this year there's 12,096 bottles. Also the caps, they changed. This one has the I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but this one has the little, has a Tahona and a bull. And this one's just a regular black cap. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit of that one. Got that nice little pop. Also, let's talk about the prices on these tequilas. I've seen them go as high as like $234. Some places, 150. I think the first one that I picked up a while back, and this was somewhere up north. Don't remember the name of the place. I think I paid like, I don't know if it was like $75, $80 or something like that. And this one was picked up down south. It's about 65. And in some places on average these are going about 100. So I know the prices, I guess, depending where you're at, they're going to fluctuate and change. And availability, of course, that's another thing. Talk about the retails and shit, that when you got a tequila that's on demand, it's hard to get. They're always going to jack the prices. But that's a whole nother story. So let's go ahead and talk about lot number 1. See what I get. So on lot number 1, I'm getting agave. You know, I'm getting cooked agave. I'm getting a little bit of anise, pepper, salt. And I'm also getting some mint. Yeah, there's a little bit of alcohol. I don't get any, you know, I don't get any aromas of wood or anything like that. So let's see, batch number 2. So I think, you know, batch number 2, I'm getting a little bit of cooked agave. I'm getting a little bit of like earthy, you know, like a little bit like an earthy type of aroma. Like a little bit of like a raw agave también. I also get a little bit of anise, you know, so it does have a little bit of a sweet aroma to it. I don't know if I mentioned, but I think I said also maybe like a little bit of raw agave. Yeah, but they both smell pretty similar. I think another thing that could also make a difference, since this bottle is pretty much gone, you know, there's more space in there versus I just cracked this bottle open. You might get a little bit more, you know, aromas of alcohol as well, because I do get that a little bit. And one thing too that I wanted to talk about was, I think the first time that I tried this, you know, I absolutely loved it. It tastes really, really sweet. You know, I taste tons of cooked agave. You know, I wasn't really getting like any pepper or nothing like that the first time, you know. And the finish, you know, the finish on it was like a little bit of, you know, like a little bit of wood. And I don't know if it's because, you know, psychologically it's in the mind that this was fermented in, you know, wood, or if the taste is really there. But I've tasted it, you know, I tried it at a different time, and, you know, it wasn't as good. Put it away, tried it like a week after, and, you know, went back to absolutely loving it, you know. So I always say I like to try it, you know, multiple times. I like to try it on different occasions. And, you know, sometimes, like I said, it just depends on what you eat, you know, what you drink, and so on and so that, you know, you might get different, you know, taste, flavors. And as far as aromas, I think when you open it up, you're also going to get, you know, similar and a little bit of different aromas. You might smell something one day that you don't smell on the other. So let's go ahead and go with the batch number 1 first. Okay, so batch number 1, you get that agave. You do get a little bit of that pepper. You know, you get anise. You do get a little bit of salt. You know, I don't taste the mint, but I do smell the mint in it. And I think that finish is a little bit like wood. You know, you get a little bit of like light wood that's just on the finish. Now, let's do batch number 2. They do taste different. You know, this is a little warm. I'm getting, you know, tons of cooked agave. You'll get a little bit of, like salt, anise. You know, I'm also getting a little bit of, you know, pepper. You know, some spice. So this is a pretty bold tequila. Yeah, so I'm getting some pepper, spice. You know, because I'm getting a cooked agave. I'm getting a little bit of heat. You know, this is it's a very good tequila. I feel with this one, the aftertaste that you get is the agave, you know, versus like the first one. I think on the first one, like the finish that I would get, you know, was a little bit like woody. And on this one, I feel like the finish that I'm getting is just, you know, straight up agave. I'm not getting that that wood finish on this one. You know, it could be, it does taste a little minerally too, you know, it feels like a little bit of minerals. But could be too that's in terms of wood, where the wood gets soft, you know, after some usage. So that could definitely make a difference. But they're both good. I'll say that definitely, I like batch number one more. But you can't go wrong with either of them. They are different. It's definitely, you know, it's definitely worth trying if you can get a good price for it. But you know, to pay over $100 for this, no, I don't think so. I think there's you know, there's other tequilas out there that you can pick up, you know, for cheaper, that, you know, it's going to be just as good or better. So 65, you know, like 70 bucks, you know, it's not bad. It's a good tequila. I think the first one, when I rated it the first time, because I absolutely loved it, I think I rated it pretty high, like at 93. With this one right here, I'm probably gonna get it like let's say like an 89. You know, so we all got different palates, different taste buds. So you guys might pick up the same or different flavors, but overall, I think I can recommend this tequila. Actually, I will recommend this. I think it's good. Just try it. It's a good tequila. You know, it's coming out of Blanco. Definitely a respectable distillery. Well, you guys have a good night.